welcome to 2023. I am coming at you from Quartzsite, Arizona. This was my plan when I left out of town, left out of Columbus, Ohio, was to come here to Quartzsite, Arizona for the month of January. So I pulled in last night at about 7:30 at night. That's 7:30 Mountain Time, which I just learned Arizona doesn't do the time change, so I don't actually know what time it is. It might be 10:30 in the morning, but it might also be 11:30 in the morning, so I'll have to figure that out. It was dark when I pulled into Quartzsite, which is complicated because then you're driving out to BLM land, Bureau of Land Management land, in the dark, trying to figure out where you're going to put your spot. So I'm pulled off onto a patch of dirt. There were a bunch of other people here. I was just trying not to camp too close to anybody. There's the close-up part where I parked at. There's another part farther down this road that I'm going to go check that out too. I'm about 2 miles from town, and I do have some plans for today. Because I've spent most of the last 2 weeks just driving, and here, let me check the audio. Yes, since leaving on December 12th, I have put 3,423 miles on the car. And almost all of that has been just straight up driving. I did spend the 2 days around Christmas with family in Houston. I didn't do a lot of driving there. But the entire rest of the time has been like 4 hours a day of driving. So it's a 3,000-mile trip from Columbus, Ohio to Quartzsite, Arizona. But what that means is I've really spent like 2 to 3 weeks kind of, I know this sounds bad, but marinating in my car. And so there's just a lot of general housekeeping that needs done. It's time for me to get another shower. And there's no Planet Fitness anywhere in Quartzsite. There's one 57 miles away in Lake Havasu City, and there's one like 77 miles away in Yuma. And I know that driving an hour out to take a shower and come an hour back seems ridiculous, but I'm also out of cat food, out of distilled water, out of just a bunch of different supplies that I need. So I think I am going to make that 1 hour trip, 2 hour round trip. I think, so yes, what I'm saying is I pulled into Quartzsite last night and I'm leaving to go do more driving right now. But it's just understood if you're here, you can live here with the amenities that are here, or you can make trips to Yuma or Lake Havasu City if you need big city supplies. So I think that's the route that I'm going to take. There is a Love's gas station here, and I could pay money to take a shower. But because I also need to do that supply run, I think it just makes sense to go to a Planet Fitness and do my usual. But I also kind of, before I peel out of town, I need to figure out, like, you're supposed to camp within 500 yards of a pit toilet if your vehicle does not have a black water tank. Mine technically does not have a black water tank, so I do need to figure out what they mean by a pit toilet, because let me tell you, when I drove in last night, I did not see anything like a porta-john. So I gotta figure out what that even is to figure out if I parked anywhere near it, because I have no idea. And then other orders of business for the day. I want to tidy up the house. A bunch of things are not where I want them to be. They're not how I want them to be. So I need to take care of that. Need to do the supply run. Need to take a shower. And then I just want to explore Quartzsite and figure out what's here. Where is everything? I have some questions. There was some New Year's Eve events I would have liked to have gone to last night, but they were at the long-time vehicle access areas, and I don't know if you're allowed to drive into those as a guest, so long as you leave. I don't know, because you have to have a pass and a permit to camp there, but I don't know if that means you have to have a permit to visit there. So I need to figure that out, because a lot of the people I would like to meet and spend time with in Quartzsite are in those LTVA areas, and I don't know if, as a person not sleeping at an LTVA, if I have access to that area. I also want to figure out where all of the events are in town. There's the Tyson Wells, there's the Big Tent, there's the park where the RTR will be in 2 weeks. So I need to figure all of those things out. So today's going to be a lot of just orienting myself, running some errands, cleaning some house, and I'll show you guys as much of that as I can while we're in the process, and that way you know kind of like what a day in the life is like in Quartzsite, Arizona. For those of you who really like to watch van life videos and who have never been to Quartzsite and are trying to figure out whether this is a thing you want to do, there will be some of that content as well. Like I said, my first advice would be don't show up in the dark. Show up during daylight so that you can at least orient your campsite, which I did not do well last night and I need to correct that. But yeah, definitely spend that first day getting oriented. Anyway, I need to get on with it because it's almost noon. One other thing. I was so struck by the beauty of the saguaro cactus, the Saguaro National Forest Park, the whole area around Tucson in general. I could legitimately see myself living, at least in the winter, in Tucson. Just the beauty of the natural surrounding, but also the vibe of the city and the people that I met there. I really had a genuinely lovely time, and the saguaro, I can't even explain why that touches me as deeply as it does, but the end result is I found a name for my kobold. His name is S''Gauro, Saguaro. Yes, I realize that's not quite saguaro. I wanted to shorten it to a one-syllable kind of thing, so Saguaro. There he is. My kobold's name is Saguaro. He's also kind of the right color scheme. So, Saguaro is going to help me remember that natural beauty of the Saguaro National Forest Park that we went to. And so there you go. Sometimes people just get their names while they're in process. Right, so first bit of hilarity, I stopped and registered with the camp host. I saw the sign that said, hey, there's a camp host, register here. So I did that part. And I told him that I had read somewhere that you had to be within 500 yards of a pig toilet. And he laughed. He's like, I've never even heard of that. So apparently there are no pig toilets. You're on your own. And that's fine. I can work with that. But all right then. So let's see how that goes. Also, now that I can actually see what's going on, there are many more RVs and tents and trailers and all than I knew were even out here. I've literally seen like 20 tents just since driving on this little bit. And then the farther up section of Dome Rock Campground is farther up this way, so I'm going to go check that out also, just because I want to know what it is before I head out of town. I need to turn around because I went the wrong way. That looks like it used to be a drive-in movie theater. There's some property that's owned over there. Okay, but now we're back at Dome Rock proper. Okay. This is the main road. La 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 la. And the camp host and somebody hiking into town with his dog and his guitar. Right on. Alright, and there are people off to the left and the right. Okay, cool. 14-day camping limit. I knew that. Alright. So if I had just driven on a little farther, I probably wouldn't have seen any of this because it was out in the dark. There's a big yellow flag. I want to say that yellow flag is important. I don't know. I'll look for that later. And there are just all kinds of RVs and camps, and there's a pop-up, and there's a bunch of dogs. So yeah, it really just is how far out do you want to go, and are you meeting up with friends, and what view do you want, and still signs that say you're in the right area, so that is too cool. It's super windy out here right now, so I may not put a tent up. I don't know. I like the idea of putting the tent up so that I have a staked out campsite, so if I drive into town, I can come back and still have a tent site that's my own. And that doesn't mean that some fool's not going to come along and steal my tent, tear my tent down because they can, because apparently that's a thing. So, but we shall see. I think it may depend on how far out I go. I don't know. But yeah, there's lots of people even way out here, so I imagine it can be as quiet as you want, as busy as you want. It's just how much time, effort, and distance do you want to put in between you and everybody else. Now, this place is supposed to just fill up over the next couple of weeks here, so I don't know. We shall see. I'm so happy. It just goes on. I'm still driving it. This guy's trying to get back out onto the road. Woo. Cool. My amazing gas station breakfast lunch is going to be tornadoes, I believe they call this. The first one is a Monterey Jack chicken thing, and the farther one back is a cheeseburger. Yeah. First time eating gas station food, I think, so we'll see. Could be food. Here's a quick driving tour into Quartzite. We are at exit 17 off of Route 10, Quartzite Boulevard. I haven't been into downtown Quartzite yet, so let's check that out. That Love's is just super convenient for getting, you know, gas, a bathroom. So we did that thing. This truck really wants to come through, but okay, so here we are. This is apparently Quartzite. Alright, I have no idea where anything is. High Jolly is that way. Let's go to the right. I did that badly. We're gonna go this way. Alright, there's the official Quartzite sign. Alright, let's see what's along here. There's Gem World off to the left and the Quartzite Outpost. And the Fresh Jerky Store. There's a restaurant. Alright. There's a Chevron station. Tire place. Madagascar Airport. Where that is. McDonald's. Pilot station. Southern Tire Mart. Silver and Jewelry. Main Event Trading. Bar and Grilling. Yeah, Club High Jolly Monument is to the left. Karen's Cafe. High Jolly Outpost. Okay. Another restaurant. Dave's Diesel, Ken's Grocery Outlet. Stagecoach Restaurant and Motel, Firewood. So there's the Dollar General, so if you need that, that's where that is. There's a Chinese food, Stagecoach Restaurant. Big Market Food and Liquor and Hardware. Auto Repair Shop. Quartzite Senior Center is off to our left. Moon Mountain Avenue is that way. There's a bunch of RV parks in here if a park with amenities is what you're looking for. Solar Bills, RV Solar, 88 Shades. Now there are roads off to the left and the right, and haven't taken any of them. I am kind of trying to find the park. No idea where the park is. Nestler's RV Park. There's Tyson something. Historical marker at a quarter-mile. Tyson Mobile Home and RV Park. That's not what we're looking for. So if you want to move out here, there's a mobile home park. Ice cream shop with leather. Dorothy and Tony's. Silly Al's Pizza. So we're not going to starve to death. There's tons of food out here. This is great. Now, that's if you're going to eat out. I don't plan to do that. I plan to cook and stuff. Yuma's to my right. I mean, if I drive a long distance that way. This is 95. La Mesa RV Experience Life. Central Boulevard. Probably that's relevant. Now, a lot of people like to use a map to figure out where they are, where they're going. I'm more of a drive around and figure it out sort of person. There's quiet times. That's important. I forget why, but it has to do with like getting packages, if I remember right. I figure I'll send my packages to Yuma or to Havasu City. Just because there's so much going on right here, I feel like taking some of the burden off of that, and then it's less of a hassle for me, less of a hassle for them. In the Chevron station, I'm going to have to price compare and see if I can find a good value on gas, because that Love station is redonkulous, both in terms of price and in terms of just being full on balls to the wall. You know, people constantly, Coyote Fresh Foods, I might have to check that out. There's a Family Dollar. Quartzite Town Hall, blah, 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 all off to this way. Alright, it said it's this way, let's go this way. I'm interested in the library and the town hall and all that other stuff. Yeah.